Welcome to this module, Vehicle Extraction Techniques. Now, first of all, I would like to thank Hallmatro Equipment for their assistance in producing this module and providing graphics and video footage to enhance the video training experience. This presentation will contain information on rescue tools and rescue techniques that can be employed in different vehicle rescue situations. Now, the examples shown are designed to demonstrate best practice utilising vehicle rescue techniques and rescue tools readily available in the United Kingdom. Now, each motor vehicle collision is unique, and variables such as the type and the number of vehicles involved, their positions, number and the condition of the casualties and external hazards will determine the appropriate actions to be taken. Now, it's important to know that you should always read and understand the manual for the relevant rescue tools that you're using, as they may be different. So we're going to go through some kind of tools, but you've got to use their own manuals should you be given them. Now, you should use the standard operating procedures highlighted in the Fire and Rescue Service manual, and this is the incidents involving rescue and road vehicles. So that's what the standard operating procedures. However, the overriding factor is to follow the instructions of your incident commander. Whoever's in charge of the incident, you follow their instructions. Now, the extrication scene is inherently hazardous. Your personal safety depends on the training provided by your fire and rescue service. Now, the use of appropriate personal protective equipment is essential, and it's your responsibility to ensure you wear it correctly. You're given the equipment, you should be wearing it. The amount of times in the fire brigade where people didn't put the gloves on because they thought I'll be all right, or they didn't have the helmet on or the visor on, you're given your protective clothing, wear it. It's also essential that you understand the equipment that you're provided with, so ensure that you train on it. You've got the equipment, you might think, oh, well, when was the last time we used it? That's even worse, because you're not using it enough. Now, I've got many years' experience in the fire service and would constantly update crews' knowledge on the rescue equipment. So quite frequently, when I've exercises, getting the equipment out and getting to use it. And this includes going through the manuals provided to ensure that you're maintaining it correctly. Remember, this equipment is used in all weather conditions, and it's going to take a lot of stick, this equipment. It's all weather conditions, it's got oil, dirty conditions, and if you fail to adhere to the rules, it may lead to death or injury to your casualties, yourself, or anyone at the scene. So they're the safety precautions. Now, the first module we're going to look at is start looking at how many incidents there are in the United Kingdom. Because incidents involving rescue from road vehicles are dramatically increasing in frequency. And generally, 3,500 people die on the roads in the UK every year. 3,500 roughly people die every year, with about another 35,000 are injured. Now, the UK, the Fire and Rescue Service, as the primary rescue service, requires national guidance to ensure a similar standard of response anywhere across the United Kingdom. And this course basically is designed to assist in fulfilling these requirements by highlighting current best practice with regards to detailing vehicle rescue, extrication techniques and casualty care. Now, although modern motor vehicles are becoming safer for the occupants due to advancement in technology, persons are now more likely to survive a higher speed impact because the vehicle's a lot safer. However, they are more likely to become entrapped either within the metalwork or the vehicle or by the nature of their injuries. Now, Section 8 of the Fire and Rescue Service Act 2004 places the statutory duty on the service to respond to road traffic collisions. With this comes the duties to provide personnel and equipment to make arrangements for dealing with calls, to make arrangements for obtaining information, and the Fire and Rescue Service's response to road traffic collisions must continue to develop through structured training, provision of advice and guidance, and by striving to stay up to date with advanced vehicle technology. As vehicles advance, your training must advance. When they bring new airbags in, when they bring new systems in, you've got to make sure you keep up to date with this at the scene. Now, this presentation has been developed again to promote current best practice, and it reflects the most up-to-date information sourced from vehicle rescue specialists, both from in the UK and from around the world. Now, I've broken this course down into a series of modules to make it easier to digest the information. Now these modules, although independent, they do form a complete guide when viewed in their entirety. So although it's in modules, you do need to make sure you know all the modules, watch them all. It's important to note that at this time, the health and safety of all those attending a road traffic collision should be at the utmost of the incident commander's mind. So everyone's health and safety is paramount. However, I would like to point out that dynamic risk assessment and other circumstances may require local procedures to be different from those on this course. Yeah, so they've got to carry out a dynamic risk assessment, so they may vary away from the guidance we're giving them on this course. So you've got to ensure you're aware of your own services procedures as well as the ones on this course. Now, first of all, I want to concentrate on personal safety. Personal safety, the person that's actually dealing with this. I want to discuss the various issues you should consider with regards to personal safety and the equipment you need at an incident. So let's look at the personal equipment first of all. What sort of equipment first of all? Well, a helmet. A compact helmet is essential and it should be worn at all times. This is the key. You've got your helmet, put it on at all times. It must be remembered that this piece of equipment protects not only against major trauma to your head, so a major blow, but it'll also avoid annoying bumps and cuts during movement in and around that vehicle. That vehicle drops and you haven't got your helmet on, you could injure yourself. And there's often very sharp edges in close proximity to the head during your routine extrication activities. So make sure you've got a helmet on. What else do you need on? Eye protection. Protect your eyes, eye protection. And this is goggles or safety glasses. And these should be used in conjunction with your full face protection. So you might have a face shield, but you've still got to put goggles on. People put the face shield out, I don't need goggles. Yes, you do. You've got your goggles and your safety glasses. Use them in conjunction with your full face protection. A face shield alone does not provide adequate eye protection. What else? You've got protective clothing and your reflective material. So at night you can see there, lighting, you can see your person's there. Protective clothing should cover the whole body and protect against any sharp edges. And it's also suggested that this clothing has some fire retardant properties and it incorporates reflective material. So it's fireproof as well as protecting you from sharp edges. What about safety boots? Well, these should be worn at all times with good ankle support and your toe protection. Make sure you've got safety boots with toe protection on. Yeah, don't bring your own wellies on and think I'll be all right. Obviously, they've got to be safety boots with the ankle and toe protection. Protective gloves, critical. Your hands. You're using your hands. Protective gloves should be worn at all times. Yeah, don't take them off while you're doing a bit of cutting. All times you leave your gloves on. They should provide protection against sharp edges as well as protecting the hands against broken glass and any hot objects. So make sure you wear them. Now with these gloves, be careful because you've got to remember that medical oxygen should not be contaminated with grease or oil. Only persons wearing medical gloves should handle these cylinders and regulators and not those rescuers with rescue gloves. In other words, if you've got your normal gloves on with grease on it and you've got anywhere near oxygen on that valve, if pure oxygen comes in contact with grease, you know what will happen, don't you? Bang! Rapid oxidation and it can explode. So you do not handle oxygen cylinders with greased up gloves. You've got to have special medical gloves on. That covers the basic principles of protective clothing.